Hello, how you doing? It's Phil Thatch and I am on the fishing pier at Wolf Teaver Creek. Phil, what in the world are you doing on the fishing pier at Wolf Teaver Creek? This is supposed to be a soccer photography video. Well, I made a huge rookie mistake. I used my Nikon ZFC to do my vlogging from the soccer match, which I'm using to make this clip as well. And when I got home, I had to really get those soccer pictures done really quick, and I didn't import the video from the ZFC. And then the next time I used the ZFC, I said, oh, hey, I forgot to format my memory card. Format, oh crap, that was the video from the soccer match. So I'm having to redo those clips. I went to the Chattanooga Sports Complex, which is where the UTC ladies play soccer. That's a college team, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And a big SEC team, Tennessee, came to town and they played a soccer match. And my good buddy Ray helped me gain access to that, and I was able to make photographs of it. And I'm so appreciative of Ray and the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga for letting me do that. And I used my Canon R6, and for the first half, when there was plenty of light, I used this lens. This is the 100 to 500 f, what is it, 4.5 I think to 7.1. Fantastic lens. And then for the second half, it was a little bit darker and I switched to a different lens. I switched to the 70 to 200 f 2.8, which looks exactly like this. As a matter of fact, this is the lens hood that also works on the 70 to 200. I don't have it with me, but it looks exactly like this, just a little bit smaller. And I shot the entire second half with that. So let's take a look at those photos. All right, here are the photos from the UTC versus Tennessee match. And like I said earlier, I was super thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to shoot this. You can look up here in the top left and see settings, what lens was used, what the millimeters were, what the shutter speed was, what the aperture was, what the ISO was. And I shot auto ISO through this entire match and it seemed to work just fine. The last time I did soccer, the auto ISO wasn't working very good because the background was all sorts of different brightnesses. So I had to do that one completely manual, but this one, auto ISO, worked just fine. Look how sharp these players are using the Canon 100 to 500 at 176 millimeters. Here's a couple of girls, one from Knoxville and one from Chattanooga, trying to get to a ball with their head, which is kind of cool. Look at the ponytails going in all directions. Now this was almost a goal for UTC, which would have been a big deal because Tennessee had played 6 matches in a row and not been scored on. And this girl, number 13, had a fast break. She was heading down towards the goal, and you can't just kick it right in the middle. You want to put it in the corner so the keeper can't get to it, and she missed just barely on the outside, but she almost scored a goal. 500 millimeter shot because I was way on the other side of the field. Here's a 186 millimeter shot of a Chattanooga player with the ball, nice and sharp. 176 millimeter shot, also nice and sharp. I enjoyed all the colors, and as the sun was setting, it was getting towards golden hour, so that helped the colors look even better. Here's some Tennessee and Chattanooga players battling for the ball. 300 millimeter shot. Here's a 500 millimeter shot from way away. Look at these pellets, these rubber pellets. These are actually ground up used car tires. And I'll show you some more of those later. This you'll see that on AstroTurf. It makes the turf softer if you fall on it, but there's millions of those pellets in every AstroTurf field. You can't even see, or you can barely see, the Chattanooga player in the background, but here's 2 girls trying to get to the ball with their head there. Nice and high off the ground, 428 millimeter shot. Here's some folks battling for the ball. This girl here, you can't see her number, Chattanooga player, I think she's number 27. She saved this goal, but she also smacked her head hard against UT's player number 3, and she was out for the rest of the half, but she did come back and play in the second half, so that was good. There's not a whole lot of action going on in this shot, but I thought it was cool because you can see in the background, you can see all the Tennessee players wearing their orange, and here's this Tennessee player coming down the field wearing her orange, and there's a train track just behind the field, and the train that was on the field at that particular moment had orange on it, so I thought that all went together well. Here's some players coming down the field, 500 millimeter shot, so this one was a long way away and still nice and sharp. Here's number 8. I think that's the same girl from here. Here she is with her back turned to us, getting her head on this ball, and I love this shot. Here's number 22. Her back is to us, which I would rather see her face, but I love how you can see the faces of all the other players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of eyes all looking at us. That's cool. Or all looking at the ball. 200 millimeter shot. Here's a 200 millimeter shot as well. This is the Chattanooga keeper, and she was quite busy during this match, but she did a really great job. Another shot of the Chattanooga keeper saving one. There's number 22 for UT, getting her head on that one. Nice thing about that 100 to 500 millimeter lens is, in addition to going all the way to 500, it's as short as 100. So when a player is over near you, you can get them completely in the shot on a full frame camera like the R6. It's the battle of the number 13s. Here's number 13 for UT and number 13 for UTC, both working on getting that ball. Here's number 6 throwing it in. Number 22 making a pass. 186 millimeter shot. Here's Chattanooga's keeper kicking the ball back into play, 451 millimeters. Number 2 and number 13 battling for the ball. It's a contact sport. These two were trying to get their head on the ball, and we end up having a head into a chin in this shot. 238 millimeter shot. The ball's not in this shot, but I shared it with you anyway because I like how you can see all three of their eyes nice and sharp, waiting for the ball to come down, trying to get position on it. 500 millimeter shot. Number 6 throwing the ball into play once again. And here's a 300 millimeter shot of number 6 about to wallop that thing. Here's number 27. Now we're in the second half. Yes, this is the first shot from the second half, and it's number 27 against her and the keeper joining together to save a goal from the University of Tennessee. So it's good to see her back in the match and feeling better. This is number 3. She's the team captain for UTC. They get the armband, the captain does. And this girl, number 31 for UT, was really awesome. And number 3 did a good job staying with her. Here they are battling once again, and you can see some more of those rubber pellets. Here they are once again battling. 147 millimeter shot. I shot everything wide open at f2.8 when I was using the 70 to 200 2.8. Here's number 6 about to kick one over towards the goal. And now that she's kicked it, her and number 11 who was covering her are watching where it went. There's number 31 for Tennessee. Man, she was awesome. Really, really strong player. Here she is again, continuing down the field. 172 millimeter shot. And there is Chattanooga's keeper saving another one. I like this shot, but I wish she had been in focus. The focus was over here. You know, I had it on face detect. It was her face or possibly hers that it detected. There's where that new Canon R3 might be really something, because it will look in the frame where your eye is pointing. So I could have just pointed my eye in this direction, pressed the face detect focus, and in that situation it would have found her. Pretty cool camera, that R3. But I'm very happy with my R6 as well. Look at the sharpness in these girls' eyes in this shot as number 23 and number 2 are trying to get that ball as it comes down. And here's that. It's another shot in that same sequence. Still fantastically sharp. 153 millimeter shot. And you can see the sun is coming down. It's getting darker and darker, but I'm still shooting at 1/1600th of a second. Here's number 2 running down the field fast and continuing. But look who's coming. It's Chattanooga's keeper, number 1. And this is a sequence. I was shooting in the mechanical shutter 12 frames per second mode. And she's coming in, and you can see the pellets coming up. And she's coming in. And number 2's putting on the brakes. She says, "Oh my goodness, this girl is coming at me." And she slides under. And look at this. She has saved a goal, the keeper. That's what keepers do. But look at all these pellets. This is the most little rubber pellets I've ever seen in the air at one time. And I've photographed quite a bit of soccer. And look, there's even rubber pellets up here above their head. Way up here are some. Pretty amazing. And also I love the sharpness and detail of this 158 millimeter shot. And here's the last shot in that sequence. And it looks like for her efforts, in addition to getting pellets all in her shorts, she also got a cleat in her hair. Goodness gracious. All right, there's number 31, kicking one hard. I'm at 1/1600th of a second, and there is still, even with that fast of a speed, there's still motion blur in that ball. That's not distortion, that's motion blur. I was using the mechanical shutter. 27 and 6, trying to figure out who's got control of the ball here at 187 millimeters. There's number 31 again. I love when you're photographing athletes with long hair because you can catch their hair going all sorts of crazy directions. It's pretty cool. Now this shot's interesting. The eye detect autofocus focus, captured this player here, and at f2.8 that put this player that's kicking the ball in her general direction completely out of focus. Kind of an interesting photo. Here's number 31 again, driving it down the field through double coverage, 200mm shot, and this ended up being one of UT's 3 goals here. Number 2 managed to get this one in past Chattanooga's keeper, who did a fantastic job. There's 31 and 3 again, battling and way off the ground. Pretty cool shot. Here's another shot of a couple of the players driving down the field. Number 4 had just hit this one with her head, I believe. And now I've switched sides of the field, so these shots are backlit now. The sun was kind of setting on the other side of the field. By the time I walked all the way from one side of the field to the other, it had gotten quite a bit darker. The sun was going down fast, and the lights on that field, even though it's not a huge field from a seating capacity, the lights are really nice. I had slowed down to 1/1000, ISOs up to 4000 on this 200mm shot. And this is a series of shots. You can see that 11 is actually tripping number 13. I think she got a yellow card for this. There's some more pellets flying up as number 13 goes to the ground. Lots more pellets. There's number 3, the team captain. She's just hit this one with her head, and now she's looking to see where it went. A 200mm shot at 1/1000th. And here's number 13 again. She is kicking the ball. This is a sequence towards the goal. I think the keeper ended up getting this one, but it was pretty cool. And here is Tennessee's keeper kicking the ball back into play. And look at this shot. Number 6 kicking the ball towards the goal. You see the entire Tennessee bench is standing up over here and watching. And where does that ball go? Well, it goes right into the hands of the Tennessee keeper. And here is one final shot. So there's all the shots that I ended up sharing from the UTC versus UT soccer match. All right, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'm so thankful and honored that I had a chance to photograph that soccer match. That was fantastic. Hopefully I'll get to do some more UTC sports in the future, and if so, you'll be able to see it right here on this channel. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, a thumbs up is always appreciated, really helps me out. And as always, like everybody's always begging you to do, subscribe, hit the bell. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.